What's up, guys? Here's another one from a forest.
This isn't a forest, this is a park.
It's a park within a forest.
Okay, I never went too deep into the park to actually see the forest. But we want to let you guys that the great ritual of shriving was a complete success and Serbia shall have a bountiful harvest. The lesser ritual of the shriving, that's a controversial topic and we don't want to get into it.
But, you know, maybe someday we graduate and become capable of talking about it.
Yeah, the initiates of the stone.
Of the stones.
Only if you're a high level. Okay.
Only if you're an arch stonemason.
We agreed not to use the M word.
Oh my god, my bad.
Anywho, speaking.
B had a colonoscopy.
I mean, I did say it. It's not really the way I wanted to spend my weekend, but you guys will be happy to know that I'm polyp free and GERD not free. So I have to change my diet, lose weight, don't eat sweet and other
every GERD diagnosis ever. Like, and it starts with lose weight.
Lose weight, sleep with a wedge pillow, don't eat sweet and spices.
Don't eat anything before going to bed.
Don't eat anything. Instead of a noonday nap, take a walk, like, comment, subscribe. Like
support homepage.
Yeah. Everything I can get behind, but don't take midday naps. I'm like, no.
No, yeah, that's not gonna work.
Yeah.
But really? Like, don't take midnight naps after?
Technically, I can take them if I sleep like this, so I will. So you lead the episode and I'll...
Okay,
not.
I'll take the lead. It's my time.
Okay, sorry.
It's my time now. So guys, here's what happened. I want to share with you an event that happened that maybe you would like to comment as well. But I'm interested in people's perspective about it because it's completely... It's unbelievable, right? Hello.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm speaking to myself.
Well, we are speaking to ourselves.
No, we're having a dialogue. That's why this is not a one-man show.
So what do you want perspective on?
I want perspective on the events in the United States. No, if you have an opinion.
Don't share it with us, don't share it with anyone. As I said before, if you have an opinion, we won't get along.
Yeah, crazy. So some time ago, let's say 6 months, 8 months, a year ago, my dad finds somebody's wallet next to a dumpster.
Oh man, this will be a dumpster fire.
It's not really a wallet. It was like the thing where you just keep your ID card and your driver's license. And I remember going to the office because my office is in his apartment, and he asks me, "So hey, I found this wallet next to the dumpster. So what? Do you have any idea how we could trace the owner and get the documents back to them? Because when you lose documents, I don't know, depending on the country you live in, but it's usually a big hassle to get the new ones and etc. etc." So obviously, Twitter and Facebook are your friend in this situation. We actually found this girl, contacted her. She was thrilled to get her documents back. She even offered a reward. My wife didn't take it because I gave it to my wife because she was just the person to deliver it back. But anyways, time passes by and my father stumbles yet again upon a lost wallet. Again, and not really a wallet. Again, that thing where you keep your documents, not really money. But yeah, I mean, if people do keep money in it, I would wonder as to
why,
where they put it, But okay, it's fine. So I'm going to the office again, and just as I'm walking in, my father is basically just arrived. So it turns out he went to drive his car to get service. saw the wallet, grabbed it, went, got his car fixed, whatever, returned, and then there was me. And again, I was like, okay, let me go do some work, and we can, check it out. I can help you find the person again, obviously. And the first time we were actually super happy to be able to help somebody, and you feel good when you make somebody else feel good. So what happens after maybe 1 hour or 1 hour and a half, I hear screaming in in the living room, and my office is obviously a bit further away. I hear like a hysterical female voice practically screaming. I'm like,
No offense to females.
well, it was a female voice. And I get out of the office, I go in, and I see this blonde lady who happens to be our neighbor, which I didn't know because it's my father's neighbor, right? I don't really know. And she's like screaming at my father. And I'm like, what is this about? And I figure it out, like, because she was like, you should be ashamed of yourself, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, Dad, is this about the wallet? And he's like, yeah. You know what happened? He took another look, a better look with glasses on, obviously, at the photo on the document, and he couldn't recognize it. But then when he saw the face below the photo, he figured that it belongs to the neighbor, and he obviously took it to the neighbor. And
First mistake.
yes, sometimes later this woman just
This harpy.
rang the doorbell and busted in basically and started yelling at my dad. So turns out she claims that the wallet contained 270 euros and like 3,000 dinars, which amounts to something like 300 something US dollars.
Basically, lower end average salary in Serbia. Just to give you some perspective.
Yeah, it could be a lot of money in Serbia. Let's be, but and my father just I guess when she saw me, she just decided to go get out, And while she was getting out and going down the stairs, she was like, I'll show you, we have it on camera. And I was like, you have it on camera that my father stole money from you? She was like, you'll see, I'll call police, blah, blah, blah. End of discussion. So we sit back and start talking about it. And I asked my dad, there wasn't any money in it, right? He was like, no. And just to give a little bit of context, if you accuse my father at stealing, I don't know, man. There's no bigger injustice than to accuse him. Like, he was so many times in a position to steal, really, and to do bad things.
And usually he didn't.
No, he never did. Like, he was he was and still is a perfect role model father for me, right? He was even laid off from the military when he didn't want to steal, basically, when he didn't want to go against the interest of the nation and against the interest of the as he would refer to it as the house that he worked for. It was the military academy hospital. And so it's really ridiculous. And sometimes later, I think the husband came to basically tell my father to bring the money back. And he was like, sure, call the police, whatever. And I decide to go down because you know what? I gotta be honest with you. Somebody was yelling at my father, which is more or less the same as if they were yelling at my kid.
Yeah.
In these cases, it's questionable as to what I could do. I gotta be honest about it. So I did like a silent prayer in my mind, and I just went there, right? So I knock on the door. The guy opens the door. I present myself, right? And he was like, "Hey," he was very polite. Everything was fine, and the tone that I'm using right now was the same tone I used when I approached the guy. So very normal, calm. Everything's fine. But then his wife starts walking from the door, and she immediately switches to hysteria mode, the same that she had when she was yelling at my dad. Get out of my house, get out of my property. And I do that, right? And I see two police officers basically dragging her back into the apartment and telling me, we'll visit you guys shortly. And they do. After maybe 10, 15 minutes, they do. And they tell my father this. Okay, so these guys have a camera that is pointing towards the parking lot where the dumpster is, where my father found the documents. And the camera clearly shows my father walking, grabbing the documents, walking away. That's it. Which is exactly the same with what my father told me and what he told them. Obviously, it doesn't show that my father taking the money out of the wallet or anything like that. Because and just to be clear, that's what she was saying, right? That was the lady claimed that that's what he did. And that's what the camera would show. So obviously I tell him right there and then, Dad, let them go to court. It's their word against yours. You brought it back. Like, this is ridiculous. Literally, who cares about them? But my father doesn't want to get dragged in courts. So he opens up his drawer, takes his own money, goes there and asks them how much, and gives them the money.
Not the way I would do things.
Not the way I would do things either.
But the way your father would do things.
And the way he did.
Yeah.
I am super
annoyed.
Absolutely. I'm like, I was not in a good state when I witnessed that. Because it's just unjust at many levels.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, like, as a person who likes to reflect, as a Christian, I'd like to see, how people look at this situation. I mean, like, what should I learn from this? What's the takeaway? Don't pick up documents. Don't try to help people. What's the takeaway? I don't get it.
The takeaway is that you shouldn't expect to be thanked in return.
Well, does it mean I should expect for people to con me, or like everything points to that these guys might have done it intentionally, right?
Does it?
Could be a setup.
Could be.
I mean, I'm pretty sure if they find the money, if the money exists, right?
Yeah.
If it was real, right? It didn't fall out of their pocket or they didn't spend it or whatever. If the money was real, I bet that if they find it, they will not come and say sorry. By the way, these guys are pretty wealthy. They drive an SUV on the very expensive end, live in a very big apartment. So I'm pretty sure they don't lack the money. So yeah, just saying.
The Lord will deliver.
No, I gotta be honest with you, B. I wanted to.
Kick them in the head with an axe.
No, with my foot, and then my arm, and then a couple of times more with my foot.
Okay. I once got a nasty comment about my niece, who was like
Really?
6 months at the time.
On YouTube?
Of course. Where else?
Wow.
The comment that I received, if we lived in, 200 years ago, I could split that person's head with an axe, and nobody would bat an eye. Nobody. Everybody would be like, "Yeah, she got what she deserved."
Yeah, you should have done it sooner.
Well, I can't choose the day I'm born, so now I only have to forgive. But
yeah. This is my problem now. I'm struggling with the urge to make them suffer, and with my need as a Christian and my knowledge as a Christian that I absolutely have to forgive them.
It will get, it will get better over time. You just need to cool down. See me in a week.
I don't know. It has been a couple of days and I'm still struggling.
Days, of course. It might take longer. Months.
I get these visions of, them crossing my path. It's like, it's very gory.
You have to, yeah, but those are very sweet.
In a way,
Images, yeah.
in a way,
Yeah.
but not good.
Well, I have the similar ones regarding our politicians, so.
That doesn't count.
True. I mean, it lacks the personal element that the three of you have.
So that was my story, guys. I'm pretty sure you didn't enjoy it.
Better than my colonoscopy.
Yeah, did you get a recording?
By the way.
No, really, did you get it? On a CD?
Listen to this.
I did. Never watched it, but I possess.
Maybe we should play it for Patreons.
Exclusive.
M's inside story. Okay, listen to this.
Oh, Lord.
After I woke up from the anesthetic, the gastroenterologist told me that I'll get the results of the biopsy. And I didn't know that he actually gave the findings that were immediately apparent to him during the colonoscopy and
Yes.
gastroscopy to my dad.
Okay.
So we go home. I take the forbidden nap.
Did you elevate your head?
Shut up. Oh yes, I took my mandatory veg pillow that I've had.
I have one for you, which I used. I'll
Really?
I'll look for it. Yeah.
You don't use it anymore.
I'll look for it.
I literally had no idea where to get it.
I'll look for it.
Guys, this is why Church Mouse Chronicles exists, so that I could get a veg pillow. There will be no further episodes after this. Bye.
Wrong button. that's when. when
Please colonoscopy. No, stop.
Oh God.
It might. Why didn't it start from the inside, not from the very beginning? Why?
Number one, you got the anesthesia. I didn't.
I have no idea how do they do it without anesthesia. I don't want to be.
Oh, I know. It's
Conscious.
it's just normal, but it's a bit awkward.
Well,
It's a bit awkward.
Yeah, though
is.
I would assume that there are multiple opportunities for humor.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I tried, but the doctor she wouldn't have it.
When I was getting my mole removed, the doctor and the nurses were very receptive to jokes. This is like, doink, nothing. Like okay,
Exactly like
like tough crowd. Mr. Chelsea put down the
hammer.
probe. Okay, I'm sorry. Anywho, so I get home and my mother wants us all to have a nice lunch in the local restaurant to celebrate the,
so
the
you go.
happy occasion.
They celebrate colonoscopy
Shut
in
up.
a local.
Shut up.
No, you're an odd bunch. I gotta say.
Anywho,
Very odd bunch.
we sit there and like and we're surrounded by people who are sitting at other tables, and the other takes the results from his bag, and I'm like, oh, you have them? Yeah. They will. The results that we will get are from the biopsy. This is from the
Yes.
immediate diagnostics. Oh, cool. Can you? And so like I open a paper and I'm reading. Okay. No nap, and I'm holding the paper like this, and I'm like holding, and they turn it around, and there are like 9 full color images of. I don't know if that's the colon or
Yes, it is.
the asparagus.
Oh, okay.
What's it called?
I think
I'll
it's
call it
something like
asparagus for the funnies.
because it's asparagus is something else. But
Yeah,
okay,
I know,
it's-
but
it's-
I'll call it asparagus.
It's a vegetable.
I know, but I'll call it asparagus because
So They got him a photo of a vegetable.
yeah. Anyway, so
It's a bonus.
I don't know how many people actually saw, but like not really something you would like to see during a lunch.
Yeah, the thing is, I was while I was having colonoscopy, I was able to look at the monitor. So I totally know how.
Go left.
Look,
What
look.
if you saw a gremlin?
Since
What
we're
did you-
sharing,
What if there was a gremlin inside?
my comment would have been, oh, obviously.
So that's why I'm always hungry. Or as we would say here in Serbia, even your parasites have worms.
Exactly.
One of the funniest.
Since we're sharing,
Oversharing.
no, the thing is that I was never able to finish the colonoscopy. The thing is, no, really. The thing is, my problem back then was I was bloating a lot, and it hurt, right? So this is how ridiculous the entire thing was.
I'll simply watch something.
Shut up, acid reflux. Shut up. Look. There was this point where she was, pushing the probe forward,
Okay.
and then left and right and forward and back, and at some point she was like, I can't go any further. And in that very second, in my head, you shall not pass. Like really, that's what I thought, man. I didn't share because previously she already shown, a bit of a
Balrog.
No. The thing is, my bowels were just too, cramped under such an angle that she might have hurt me if she went any further. So I was like, so what do we do now? Well, we need to stop the colonoscopy. And I was like, okay, fair enough. Let's stop it because I just get it out,
I can't get it out.
No.
And the probe is still there.
No. It's fine. It's fine. But then, since it wasn't finished, the good doctors at a private hospital, they say this. Well, we never got to finish the colonoscopy, but we have an idea.
Okay. This sounds like something zany out of Mr. Bean.
No, we have something we call virtual colonoscopy. And I'm like, okay, how do you do that? Well, it's like X-ray or like a multi-slice scanner thing, right? You just lie down and we scan you and, show the results.
Can I ask the most obvious question of them all?
Please.
Why wasn't that done instead of invasive ass rape?
Let me tell you, because it's a load of horse.
What is? The 3D one?
The virtual,
okay.
it's ridiculous. It shows nothing. You can't do a thing with it. But look, I went with it.
You can wipe your...
No. This is crazy, man. I went for it, right? And I got to that table where they put you to record whatever. And if you ever did any sort of a recording with a multi-slice scanner, like MRI, basically. They put some sort of fluid into your bloodstream so that, it shows well when they do the recording, right? It emphasizes stuff. For example, your lungs, if they're doing a recording of your lungs, I think the name of the thing is contrast.
Yeah.
It makes sense to name it like that. And I was like, are you going to give me something? And he's like, no. And that was the rudest possible medical technician I've ever met. And I asked him, so you just go ahead and record it. He's like, no, we have to make sure that everything will be seen in your bowels. And I'm like, okay, how do you ensure that? Well, grabs this hose and then pump you with air.
Imagine you're like a body turning into a sphere and sort of like a beach ball.
They use the same entry point as colonoscopy. But then it's literally like...
No!
So I do that. Obviously, I went through it. And guys, in the next 5 days...
Okay, yes, we know. Okay, it's not really oversharing, but okay. How did
it is out there? Let's be real.
Okay. How did we arrange this? I was supposed to have a checkup actually today, and we would have decided on colonoscopy today, but the doctor was like, hey, why don't you simply have both scopies today? And they learned that early yesterday morning, and I'm like, okay. And the thing is, the two of us were supposed to record yesterday. So yesterday that meant that during the work hours I was supposed to have no liquid. Actually, no, yeah, I could have liquid like
But,
coffee, water,
yes.
tea, but maybe like clear soups and clear juices, but no orange juice, no alcoholic beverages, no solids, and so on. So I survived the workday without issue. After work, I went to this government office for something apartment related, and I bought these laxatives. Then my plan was to go to M's place, to the place of M's father, take the laxatives there before the recording started, and then to proceed further with the recording, and then I would go home. For 45 minutes, I couldn't get a car to get me to the place of M's father, because we had some kind of traffic collapse. Like,
Yeah.
everything was absolutely paralyzed. And I'm calling and nothing. And M had some meeting around 6 p.m. So I told him, if I don't get a car in the next 10 minutes, and I have been calling for half an hour, there's no way I can get there for us to record anything resembling a whole episode.
Much to my disappointment.
Yes, and mine too. I really wanted to do it. So I'm like, oh well. So I go home, I make that laxative, and man, that laxative, that's a separate episode. But
It's the worst tasting thing in the world.
No.
Besides maybe, I don't know, gasoline
Or like spoiled milk. No. Let me explain.
Why did you have to go there?
Okay. Thing is, I get home and my mom was like, "Are you insane? Like, imagine you having a laxative there and then going back and then being stuck in a traffic jam." And I'm like, I mean,
I brought this porta potty with me.
this portable enema, and I didn't. And I mean, I have no idea what could have happened, but I know that there is a loving God who looks out for us.
Yeah. I also think it's good. I didn't really understand, because I know that I was getting ready for the colonoscopy for like 2 or maybe 3 days.
Oh yeah.
And it was hellish. And same went for gastroscopy.
Gastroscopy.
Yeah, I had that as well.
Me too.
Well, we are the new Me Too movement.
Yeah. Okay. And by the way, regarding the laxatives, so the way it works is
Sorry for interrupting, but
yeah.
This episode, man.
Yeah, we wanted to record something else, but that will be second episode. This one will be dedicated to this colorful event.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you have to dissolve 1 liter of laxative, which is about. So it's basically 2 pounds of liquid. I don't know. Should we convert?
I don't know. Man.
There's a converter.
We can ask Google.
So you have to drink 4 liters of that in the course of 1 evening.
Hold on. 4 liters, 2 pounds.
Or ounces.
Pounds and liters are not compatible.
Yeah, they have something else for liquid.
Ounces, but I yes, but ounces are. Let's do it. 4 liters to ounces.
135.26 fluid ounces.
135.
Okay.
I guess they need to do something else.
It sounds a lot. Okay, so it's basically
The gallons. They
Yeah,
use
gallons, yeah.
Sorry. 4 liters to gallons. Sorry, guys.
It's 1.06 gallons.
1.06 gallons.
okay. So I start drinking that, and have you read Is No Good?
Familiar with it? Never read it.
Okay, so it's a French comic book that was later turned into a very good cartoon show.
Yeah.
It is about this evil vizier to a caliph, and in every episode he wants to become caliph instead of the caliph, and he plans to do that with all sorts of zany schemes, usually involving enchanted objects, and in every episode it backfires on him. So in one episode he meets this wizard, and the wizard has this magical potion that will turn someone into a grasshopper. But the catch is, the person needs to drink the last drop of that potion, and the potion bottle is like this big. So Iznogod pours a large bottle and gives it to the caliph, and caliph, oh, thank you. And the caliph is a really nice dude, completely oblivious to the obviously evil vizier, and he is like, oh, this tastes terrible. What is it? So Iznogod has tons of plans to somehow force the caliph to drink it, like playing a game, guess the taste, and gives
one
him
by one.
and in the end, the salting that remained of the potion is this thimble with like 3 drops of the potion, and like, I only need to give him this and I'll succeed. And suddenly you see the caliph running to Iznogod. He's not good, he's not good. Give me that. What? You want to drink it? Yeah, once you get used to the taste, it's not half bad. Give it to me. And Iznogod is like so shocked that he like faints, and the caliph catches the thimble and he's like, oh, poor Iznogod, and he pours the last drop into his mouth and he gets turned into a grasshopper. I found that episode very relatable when I had to drink that laxative, because the first big bottle that I had, it was okay.
No, it was not.
No, for me, it's not that bad.
It is.
The second, I had struggled. The third, oh man, like...
The fourth, you wanted to kill yourself
I-
after killing everybody else.
I haven't drank the fourth, and I haven't drank the last glass of the third.
Wow.
I'm like, you know what? I'm going to risk it.
Yeah, and then he got anesthesia, and he doesn't care what the doctors went through.
I so don't.
Literally went through.
By the way, if I drank one more glass of that stuff, the sole thing that I would be getting out of myself would be ectoplasm. Like, thing is, it's over. As is this episode. Yeah. Goodbye.
Again, wrong button. Guys, I know that a lot of people get scared from colonoscopy.
You shouldn't.
Well,
preparation is the worst part. Colonoscopy.
When you get anesthesia, you don't feel anything. But you have people such as myself who absolutely, under any sort of circumstances, are absolutely incapable of letting anybody else, get them into an unconscious state. But honestly, I was scared. Not of the procedure itself, even though I should have known better. It was a bit scary in the beginning. But the point is, I was more scared, if they're gonna find something that's not supposed to be there.
I think
and it's a common
fear
factor, which just get over.
Who said it? Woody Allen said it. Oh, I love colonoscopy. You go there, you get a nap, you wake up, they tell you everything's fine, and...
You just sounded like, did you watch Frozen?
Okay.
Olaf.
Okay. That's fine.
The
snowman. Yeah, he's cute. I'm fine with being an Olaf.
Oh, it's
and we have the similar build anyway.
He's like so...
Carefree.
Yes, he's like so happy. He's I can't wait when I'm ancient like you.
I like that part in his song where he's like daydreaming about experiencing sun.
Yeah.
And then he's approaching this puddle, and he's singing
something. We'll cuddle.
We will cuddle, and then we'll turn into a happy snowman. That's genius. I mean,
it is.
I hate the Skype regarding Frozen. It's an okay cartoon, but I really don't understand that much hype. But that's decent. That's a great design.
As cartoons can go, modern ones, I think it's very decent.
Yeah.
And I actually like that. It's more or less normal, right?
Can I go on a bit of a rant right now?
No, but that's not good for the show. Do it.
Okay. Have you watched She-Ra?
She-Ra, He-Man?
No.
He-Man's sister?
Yeah.
Of course.
You did watch it?
Absolutely.
Okay, I haven't.
You should. But you should watch it with Serbian
synchronization. Why?
Because you know the expression tone deaf.
Okay.
Every character, every actor that did the voices is tone deaf. So it's literally, how are you? I'm fine. And you? Yes, me too. Literally, unitone. How would I even
Monotone,
call it?
like,
Yeah, and
flat.
it's like there's this scene where somebody's running towards somebody. Like I don't know. I think she's the girl who's like the she's a child of that military army guy from He-Man, from that cartoon, and she's like in the original she's like, Adam, I'm coming, Adam, whatever
Yeah.
and in the synchronization is more or less like, I'm coming, Adam, and she's like running, like, dying to get to Adam, right?
Okay.
Crazy. You need to watch.
Okay,
You need to
before
watch.
I go into the rant I wanted, let me go into a rant I did not want, but you just reminded me.
Okay.
Because you did watch She-Ra and I haven't, and
Okay.
this is something that I have found out quite recently. What's the stupidest name you can give to a sorceress?
To sorcerers.
Yeah, the stupidest.
No, that's Ooh, that's a tough question.
Imagine
I think that the name of the sorceress in there was Tila or something.
No. Okay. Maybe I think Tila is the sorcerers from He-Man. I think.
Yes.
No. I'm not referring to that sorcerers.
Oh, yeah. I remember the translation, like the Maker of Shadows, something like that.
No. That's the evil. That's the evil sorcerers. And okay, that's a title. You can translate it. It's Shadow Weaver. So and yeah,
Thank you.
that's fine. And that's fine.
The Weaver of Shadows.
Yeah.
Oh, my vocabulary sucks.
But yeah, like imagine like something having something sounding so cool, and then you go to her place and there's like this huge loom and her like just weaving shadows and like glancing at the clock like when will
What's the name of the sorceress?
cast a spell.
No.
No, I was watching an episode about Shadow Weaver and
Wow.
I'll get you, cast a spell. And I'm like, I'm doing something in different time. And I'm like, what? And they return, I'll get you, cast a spell.
Sorry, man.
And I like
but
pause
at
it.
least they're
and,
consistent.
And I like pause it and I'm like, cast a spell.
Brilliant.
Like, mother of sweet God, cast a spell. Like then I started making rounds with my friends. What is the stupidest name for a sorceress? And one of them said Merlina, and like you're close,
Very close.
but
Very good.
stupider.
No, really.
So I started making up parody names in Serbian. These are untranslatable, but I think we can easily make something in English.
With all due respect, you need to show some respect to the cartoon or whatever,
Cast
because
a spell.
they're very consistent. Skeletor, He-Man. What?
Okay.
What?
Okay. No. Okay.
What?
Okay. Okay. He-Man. But okay. Yeah, but
Right? I think the guy's name is Hordak because he has a horde.
Catra.
Sorry?
She's a cat. And her name is Catra.
Obviously, they're very consistent, which you
But-
need to applaud
okay,
that.
but no,
cast a spell
But okay,
is a whole
listen,
other level.
Listen, no, it's different.
Castaspella.
I would understand if her name was Sorceria or something like
Sorcera.
Sorcera, the mistress of sorcery. So, but
The
Castaspella,
the weaver of sorcery.
sorcery. So anyway, that was my rant. Castaspella, like what?
I think we're gonna name our episode Castaspella Colonoscopy.
No. Castaspella and the C word.
Nah. You like clickbait.
By the way, thank God,
classic YouTuber.
Thank
Classic
God
YouTuber.
that I mentioned Castaspella because now you have a good thumbnail for this episode.
You know what I would put in the thumbnail if it was like all about colonoscopy?
What?
Like just a picture of a cave.
Go for it.
Brilliant.
No, even better. A picture of a cave and Photoshop a tiny Castaspella at the end. Of
You
the
know
thumbnail.
what? I'll find my recording of my colonoscopy and I'll Photoshop it. Of course I will not. Guys, end.
My second rant. Do we have time for another episode? Okay. Oh, Boris. Anyway,
Boris.
yeah, he's calling.
This is like the 17th time he ends up in our episode.
Yeah.
Boris, we're gonna have to have a talk.
during the episode.
When's the great Lent, the next Lent? Soon?
Maybe in a week.
Thank God we have time to go and eat some pork.
Unless you don't really pay attention to the church's fasting. End of episode. Okay, the second rant. There is a She-Ra reboot.
Wow. Okay.
Okay,
There is.
now I never watched Thundercats. I started watching some of the clips online.
Thunder, cats.
Thunder. Don't leave it. Stop a sword during a storm.
Cats.
Cats. Okay, it's exactly what it says on the tin.
Exactly.
So they made a reboot of that one, and it was great. It was amazing.
What was the name of the sorceress in the reboot?
Castaspella?
Again?
Wait, where? In Thundercats
No.
or in She-Ra?
In Thundercats.
They retained the name.
Thunder.
They retained the name Castaspella. I think they retained all of the names.
Well, okay.
But there are a couple of things they didn't retain, and that is my rant. Okay. So I say that there's a reboot, and I really didn't check it out because, again, I didn't even watch She-Ra to begin with, so, you know. And I messaged a friend of mine who, like you, watched She-Ra, and he says, man, feminism ruined the reboot. And like, what? And I forget about it. And I'm Googling something, and oh, let's see, She-Ra reboot. I go to the wiki page, and there's this there's this whole link on wiki, LGBT representation. I roll my eyes, I click. There is a constant tension between She-Ra and I know Katra, for example, that seems to be romantic. In the fifth episode, the fathers of George appear, and there is a huge rainbow in the series finale. And when the show's creators were asked about the rainbow, what it represented, they said the gay agenda. You know, playing coy, but it is gay agenda, like literally. And then there is a trans person who goes by they, and it is voiced by a trans person. And I'm like... And there is another section, like...
What is the rant about?
Like, why include those things in a kid's cartoon?
Why people push narratives?
Okay, but I'm not even finished. There is also a section, She-Ra design. I click on it, and there is a side-by-side comparison of She-Ra and she. Just kidding. I mean, the new She-Ra.
No, Ra Ra is from that song by Lady Gaga. She-Ra.
No.
Ra Ra. It's now a thing, you know. It
No.
means something. I don't know what, but it.
No, that's from Bad Romance.
Ra Ra.
Ra,
Yes.
ra, 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 ra.
Ra
I
Ra Ra.
I don't know how to say.
Why are you barking, man?
So anyway,
What?
some people criticize that the new design makes She-Ra looks a bit like a boy. You know, it practically goes away with feminine characteristics. And personally, based on that sole comparison, I see where the criticism is coming for, but I don't think that the new design is bad. But the creator said that they changed design because they did not want to sexualize a kid's cartoon. Gay character, lesbian character, they're lesbians. There's a trans person. As somebody said,
Rainbow.
as somebody has said, it's a horrible thing what those Catholic priests are doing to our children. Come on, little guy. I'll take you to a drag queen meeting, so they could read books to you. Like,
Narratives of the 21st century are appalling. It is what it is. In case some of you might be wondering why we're not commenting on the current calamities in the United States of America, I would like to say something real quick about it.
yeah, feel free.
We don't live in the United States.
Bye.
And I don't think we are called to give our opinion. And I'm personally sick of hearing so many opinions, especially from people who don't live there, who were never any sort of a victim of let's say, similar situations, don't really understand the concepts, etc., etc. So we'll just wait for the things to calm down, and maybe, just maybe, we'll give like our comment on it. But it's
I would like to offer an opposing opinion. I don't mind commenting
Finally.
things like finally. I don't mind commenting things in the United States at all.
oh, neither do I. But
As I said in a video, the Americans threw bombs at us. We can throw comments at them,
that's for sure.
and
That's
our
for sure.
comments won't be as sharp. However, this thing is so difficult to comment without everyone's passions getting inflamed. Like,
Yeah, and getting like 100 tags of being this or that, or not being something else.
we are either too silent, or we are too vocal, or we are playing white savior, or we are not American, and we're just going to put that on hold for now. We will make a dedicated episode, hopefully, because I think it is an interesting topic to discuss.
It is.
But right now, during all of the riots and all of Trump's photo ops in front of a church. Oh man.
Like-
Man. Talk about that.
Hey, what do we do now? Sir, hold the Bible.
and like in the background. Oh man, that's
Should I have held it for like 5 minutes?
by the way, the best comment I saw regarding that. The last time he touched the Bible was when he was sworn in.
Oh God. Yeah, I really don't want to go there.
No, I just find it funny. I don't want to give some political opinion,
Yeah.
but it was fun.
when I say we are not called to comment on it, it's just like it's a bad situation right now. Okay.
Yeah.
And I personally feel as if that comments wouldn't help, and if you can't help, it's a Serbian thing. If you can't help, at least don't make it harder,
Yeah.
so
If you can't help, don't unhelp.
don't that would be the perfect translation. Yeah, literally. But yeah, guys, it was but before actually we go, I just wanted to extend a very, very special thank you to everybody who has made a pledge on Patreon. I don't know if you noticed, but we now actually have a gimbal.
And to prove it,
It's a gimbal.
and yeah, this.
Do they see this? Okay,
Yeah, okay.
It's live.
So this is a proof because we're transparent. And after this video, we will attach a video of us rolling in the bills. there weren't that many bills, so we were rolling in pennies.
We had the pleasure and privilege to have basically the funds from Patreon co-finance this gimbal. The reason why we got it was not to go through a forest and then do selfies. The reason why we got it was we want to go and do something a bit more
Poignant.
poignant. That's exactly what I wanted to say. And I was weighing if I should use the.
I never can remember what that word means, but it feels sort of useful to use.
I'll translate it for you later.
Okay.
But yeah, so something more, with more. I think with something better for the Christian community. I hope.
Like our colonoscopies.
Yeah, that's why we got a gimbal. Makes sense.
Okay.
Makes sense. You're ruining this end for me, and I'm not taking it. I'm removing my glasses, and I'm done.
Okay, so he has thrown a shade right now. But imagine that somebody suggests our canonization in like 100 years.
It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
And imagine like this room full of bishops reviewing our materials, and they're for an hour they're listening about our colonoscopy.
I like them better when they used to talk about steak.
Your Grace, it's a Great Friday. Oh, that's why it tastes so good.
Yeah, did you see? Well, no, I'm not. I'm not talking about that. Next episode.
Bye. Remember to comment, like, share, comment, subscribe, and get
Oh,
your
yeah.
yearly checkup.